In the vast expanse of the heavens, where stars drift silently and galaxies turned with an ageless rhythm, there exists a realm where gods, mortals, and celestial forces intertwine, shaping the fabric of creation itself. Among the countless stories whispered across time and space, few resonate with the quiet poignancy of Chang'e and Hou Yi, the moon goddess and the mortal archer. Their tale is not merely one of legend, but a chronicle of human emotion stretched across the infinite divide between earth and sky. It is a myth born of both light and shadow, of heroism and consequence, of devotion that transcends death, and of immortality that becomes both a blessing and a burden. At its center lies Hou Yi, the archer whose courage silenced 10 sons, and Chang'e, the woman whose fate lifted her beyond mortality, carrying her spirit into the glow of the moon. Their union, fragile yet profound, was forged in peace and severed by destiny, echoing through the ages as a meditation on sacrifice, choice, and the solitude that follows extraordinary power. Unlike tales that dwell on the wrath of gods or the rise and fall of empires, this story moves inward, tracing the subtle currents of love, longing, and loss beneath the grandeur of cosmic events. The love between Chang'e and Hou Yi is not a tempestuous flame, but a quiet, enduring light, a bond shaped by memory, patience, and the inexorable passage of time. It is a love that survives the collapse of mortality, persisting even when one half is bound to the heavens and the other to the earth. As the moon rises full in the night sky, casting its soft silver glow across mountains, rivers, and valleys, it carries with it the memory of this love, the archer who silenced the suns and the woman who became their eternal light. This is their story, a journey across the moral and emotional landscape of beings caught between the divine and the human. A story written not in the heat of battle or the roar of gods, but in the quiet rhythm of longing, sacrifice, and devotion. In the vast expanse of the ancient world, before the mountains had fully risen and the rivers had settled into their courses, the sky itself was young. It stretched endlessly, a canvas of light and shadow, carrying the breath of creation upon its wings. In those early days, the heavens were ruled by 10 suns. They were brothers, radiant and restless, children of the celestial emperor, each riding the sky in turn while the others rested beyond the horizon. Under their measured light, the world thrived. Rivers shimmered with life, trees bent gracefully in the wind, and humankind lived in harmony beneath the rhythm of day and night. Yet the hearts of the sons born of fire were not content with their cycles. Pride burned within them, a heat that no mortal mind could contain. In their ambition, they resolved to rise together, 10 at once, to fill the sky with unending brilliance. And so they ascended, each a wheel of molten gold, scattering their warmth across the heavens. The world trembled beneath the onslaught. The air itself seemed to shiver in flames. Mountains cracked and melted into rivers of fire. Forests shriveled, curling into blackened ash. Oceans hissed and boiled, sending plumes of vapor into the scorching sky. The cries of every living creature were swallowed by the roar of a world undone. The celestial emperor gazed upon the devastation with both wrath and sorrow. His sons, brilliant yet reckless, had wrought ruin upon the realm he had sworn to protect. Divine law forbade him from striking them down himself, and so he sought a champion, a mortal, yet one whose spirit bore the echo of heaven. Across the lands, His summons traveled like a wind through valleys and forests, reaching a man named Hou Yi. He was known among men for his skill, but more than skill, for the calm depth of his spirit. His eyes were said to mirror the gleam of polished obsidian, able to trace the flight of a falcon even against the sun's glare. Though mortal, Hou Yi's heart carried a trace of divine essence, a legacy half forgotten but never extinguished. When the call of heaven reached him, Hou Yi ascended the sacred mountains of Kunlun, where clouds mingle with the realm of immortals. From the peak, he beheld the chaos below, a world suffocating under the fiery weight of 10 suns. The sky was a rolling furnace, the heat devouring all that lived. He drew his bow, a weapon strung with the tendons of a celestial beast, and prepared 9 arrows, each fletched with white feathers blessed by divine wind. He raised his bow toward the blazing heavens, and with a single release, the first arrow sang through the sky. The shot cut like thunder. One sun shrieked as it fell, transforming into a blackened crow that plummeted toward the western mountains. Hou Yi fired again, each arrow a streak of vengeance and grace, until 9 suns had been vanquished, leaving only one to temper the world with its gentle light. The celestial emperor descended upon a chariot of cloud and light, his gaze settling upon the mortal who had dared to act where gods could not. Silence stretched across heaven and earth, heavy with reverence and grief. Hou Yi, hero of the world, had slain his would-be destroyers. Moved by courage yet bound by law, the emperor sent forth the Queen Mother of the West, bearing a vial of the elixir of eternal life, distilled from the essence of the stars themselves. A single drop could lift a mortal soul beyond death, allowing it to dwell among the immortals. Hou Yi accepted the gift with humility. He bowed to the celestial decree, yet his heart sought no eternity. He desired only the peace of a quiet life among those he had saved. Descending from Kunlun, he carried the elixir hidden within his garments, returning to lands reborn under the gentle warmth of a single sun. And so the world exhaled, slowly, under the tender warmth of a single sun. Rivers ran again, trees unfurled trembling leaves, and mountains ceased their bleeding. Humankind, once terrified, lifted its voice in song and praise, honoring the mortal who had silenced the suns. Hou Yi's triumph was complete, yet within him there was no pride, only weariness and the strange emptiness that follows deeds of unmatched consequence. The world had been saved, yet he knew the quiet weight of what it cost to challenge the heavens. In the seasons that followed the silencing of the suns, the world began to heal. Rivers once boiled to steam now ran clear and gentle, reflecting the soft light of a single sun. Forests grew lush once more, leaves trembling in the breeze as though in quiet celebration. The mountains, scorched and cracked, slowly regained their dignity, their peaks standing proud under the calm sky. Humankind, having endured a terror unimaginable, moved cautiously yet with gratitude, singing songs of survival and devotion. In the quiet of one evening, when the first stars shimmered upon the water, Hou Yi beheld her. She moved among the lotus flowers by the river, a presence as delicate as moonlight and yet imbued with warmth. Her name was Chang'e. Her beauty was unearthly, but not cold. It reached to the heart before it met the eyes. To those who saw her, it was as though they had known her always, as if she were memory itself. Chang'e lived with simplicity, tending to the needs of those dwelling near the river, Her laughter, light and unassuming, carried away the weight of hardship. Her hands brought comfort. Her presence softened the hardest days. Hou Yi, whose life had been forged in fire and battle, felt the stillness of peace for the first time in her company. Where he had been a weapon, she was a song. Where he had been shaped by duty, she was guided by compassion. Their bond deepened with the inevitability of seasons. Spring returned, bringing plum blossoms, their scent weaving through the air. Beneath a sky so clear, it seemed to bless their union. Hou Yi and Chang'e were wed. Their life together became a quiet harmony, a sanctuary where the world's scars felt distant and insignificant. Their home, crafted from carved wood, was surrounded by gardens that bloomed with increasing splendor each year. Hou Yi placed his bow above the hearth, a symbol of both memory and vow. He taught archery, not in the arts of war, but of precision and patience, guiding the sons of farmers and the daughters of hunters. Chang'e filled their home with light. She wove tapestries, tended the sick, and welcomed travelers seeking guidance. Together, they embodied the peace that comes after storms, a quiet equilibrium born of endurance and love. Yet, even within this tranquility, the elixir remained, glowing faintly in its crystal vessel. Its presence was a quiet heartbeat in the house, a subtle reminder of the world beyond their garden. Occasionally, when Hou Yi slept, Chang'e would open the chest and gaze upon it. The liquid shimmered like captured starlight, illuminating her face in silver. She felt a pull, not of greed, but of a longing she could not name. A whisper of what it might mean to transcend mortality, to wander among the stars. Time passed, and their tales spread beyond the valley. People traveled from distant lands to see the archer who had silenced the suns and to receive the blessings of his wife. Yet, as often happens in the quiet of peace, envy stirred. Among Hou Yi's disciples was Feng Meng, a man sharp of skill but shadowed by ambition. He coveted not only the archer's renown but also the secret of immortality whispered among the learned. Hou Yi was often away, summoned to distant lands to quell unrest or defend against encroaching beasts. Each time he departed, Chang'e watched him leave, her gaze following his figure until he became a mere shadow upon the horizon. Pride and fear intertwined in her heart, the glow of the elixir warning her of destiny yet to come. And so, the first whispers of tragedy began to stir, quiet as the shadows between heartbeats. The serenity of their life, the harmony they had cultivated, would soon face the weight of ambition, the pull of mortality, and the inexorable reach of fate. The years of peace that Hou Yi and Chang'e shared flowed like a gentle river, serene yet subtly shaping the contours of destiny. Their home by the river became a sanctuary where gardens thrived with plum, willow, and magnolia, and the winds softened as if not to disturb the harmony within. Hou Yi's fame spread far beyond the mountains, drawing those who sought to learn from the archer who had silenced the suns. Princes, soldiers, and wanderers knelt before him in reverence, offering gifts of silk and jade. Yet Hou Yi remained humble. He taught them not the art of war, but of restraint, patience, and precision. Strength without wisdom, he reminded them, was fire unbound, a force that could consume everything it touched. Chang'e's presence completed the home's harmony. She moved through the days with quiet grace, offering her wisdom and compassion to the villagers who sought her guidance. When droughts came, she distributed food. When illness struck, She labored through nights to care for the sick. Her radiance rivaled that of the sun itself, though it was gentler, measured, and serene. Together, Hou Yi and Chang'e embody the balance between action and stillness, courage and compassion. One night, when the moon hung as a thin crescent in the early autumn sky, the inevitable arrived. Feng Meng, driven by envy, crept toward the dwelling with the quiet inevitability of fate. His breath was steady, his purpose singular, to claim the elixir and bend its power to his will. Inside, Chang'e sat near the chest, drawn to the faint silver light that spilled like liquid starlight into the room. She felt its pull, not with desire for dominion, but with the recognition of something immense and fragile. A power too dangerous for mortal hands. In the silence, she understood. The elixir must not fall into unworthy hands. With a heartbeat of clarity, she seized the crystal vial and drank. The moment it touched her lips, the world fractured around her. Light erupted, brilliant and all-consuming. She felt herself lift, her mortal weight dissolving, the power of immortality coursing through her like a river of fire and frost entwined. The pull of the heavens was irresistible. She ascended, leaving the earth behind, her form a flowing cascade of pale light. The chest fell silent, the elixir's glow vanished. Outside, the wind rose as though swept by unseen hands. Clouds tore apart, revealing a sky of endless stars. The moon, once a faint silver sliver, swelled to luminous fullness, marking the presence of the mortal who had become divine. Hou Yi, far in the western plains, felt the shift before he saw it. A tremor ran through his soul, a shiver that spoke of loss beyond mortal reckoning. When he looked skyward, the full moon burned with unprecedented brightness, and upon its surface, he thought he glimpsed the silhouette of the woman he loved. Chang'e's ascent carried her not to the celestial court, nor to the palaces of immortals, but to the cold, silver plains of the moon itself. She became alone, surrounded by a landscape of powdered frost and distant craters, endless and still. Her immortality was both gift and exile. The tears she shed crystallized in the lunar dust, and over time, her essence merged with the moon's light, making her its eternal guardian and its solitary inhabitant. Hou Yi returned to find his home silent, overgrown with ivy, shadows filling every corner. Feng Meng lay vanquished outside, struck down by the recoil of his own ambition. The chest was empty, the faint shimmer of elixir gone. Word reached him of Chang'e's transformation before he fully comprehended the loss. Climbing the peak where he had once faced the suns, he gazed upon the full moon, a pale sphere that now held his beloved. From that night onward, Hou Yi lived in quiet remembrance. Each evening, he placed offerings beneath the moonlight. Fruit, sweet cakes, tokens of mortal devotion. Though separated by heaven itself, he spoke to her in silence, and the moon's glow seemed to respond. A single silver droplet, said to have fallen as Chang'e ascended, blossomed into a cassia flower, delicate and pale, opening only under her light. The tale of their separation became a rhythm in the world. Hou Yi, the archer of suns, persisted as a figure of mortal memory. Chang'e, the moon goddess, became the silent, radiant presence watching over the earth. The jade rabbit, her sole companion, labored endlessly to recreate the elixir, a symbol of devotion and longing that bridged the vast distance between their worlds. Thus, the story of their love endured, written in the heavens. The moon became not merely a celestial body, but the mirror of devotion and loss, its waxing and waning tracing the eternal dance of two souls, forever divided, forever bound. After Chang'e's ascent, a profound quiet settled over the world. The valley that had been alive with laughter and music now lay in stillness, as if holding its breath. The gardens were untended, their blossoms choked by ivy. The once warm halls of Hou Yi and Chang'e's home now lay shadowed and empty. Hou Yi, once the hero who had silenced the suns, moved through his days like a man carved from stone, each step measured, each breath weighed with memory. Each day the sun rose upon his face with indifferent light, and he performed his tasks with the precision of a man bound by habit rather than desire. The bow that had ended the chaos of 10 suns hung upon the wall, its strings slack from disuse. Those who sought his wisdom came to him in reverence, but his words carried the hollow weight of distance. The skill and guidance that had once inspired countless pupils now seemed to belong to another life, another world. As night fell, his gaze turned inevitably to the moon. The luminous sphere had become both torment and solace. On clear evenings, he would climb the ridge beyond his home, standing in stillness while the world slept, his eyes fixed upon the glowing orb that held Chang'e. Though he spoke no words aloud, his thoughts drifted upward like smoke, forming an invisible bridge to her. Chang'e, in her lunar solitude, felt the faint pull of those prayers. Though time in her new realm flowed differently, she sensed the rhythm of life below. Rivers moving in endless cycles, mountains enduring the slow touch of wind and rain, human settlements lighting the darkness like scattered jewels. She watched silently, the reflection of the earth shimmering in her eyes, the faint silver glow of her own body casting light across the barren moon plains. Her palace on the moon had grown, shaped by her sorrow and the endless hours of eternity. Its walls were translucent, breathing softly with the rhythm of her emotions. Gardens of crystalline trees glimmered faintly. Streams of silver wound through the courtyards, and the jade rabbit labored tirelessly, grinding herbs to recreate the elixir. Yet even this companionship could not ease the loneliness that stretched across the endless plains. Through the ages, she came to understand eternity not as an abundance of time, but as the absence of change. Each day mirrored the last. Stars circled above like watchful eyes, while the earth below shifted and pulsed with life that she could no longer touch. She saw forests grow where deserts had once lain, cities expand where fields had thrived, and countless generations live and die. Each movement of life carried echoes of memory, a reminder of what had been lost. Hou Yi, in his mortal world, aged but endured. His hair whitened, shoulders bent, eyes dimmed, yet each evening he continued his silent vigil beneath the moonlight. Occasionally he would take down his bow, string it, and draw an arrow, not at any earthly target, but at the glowing moon above. He never released the string. The act itself, a meditation, was his unspoken prayer, a reminder that he had not forgotten her, that devotion endures beyond reach. Time passed, civilizations rose and fell, yet the story of Chang'e and Hou Yi persisted. The moon became a symbol of love and separation, its waxing and waning echoing the dance of longing and remembrance. Mothers told their children that the pale glow above was a witness to devotion. Poets wrote of her beauty and isolation, and scholars recorded Hou Yi's courage not merely as heroic legend, but as a man whose triumph could not shield him from the sorrow of loss. The immortals came to revere Chang'e's solitude. They saw her not as a captive of fate, but as a sovereign of her own making. Her choice of compassion over corruption, of sacrifice over selfishness, elevated her presence to one of pure reverence. Even the celestial emperor acknowledged her grace, recognizing her as the embodiment of devotion that defied mortality itself. Yet, her nature remained unchanged. Chang'e continued to cast her gentle light upon the world below, blessing the lonely, comforting the sorrowful, and guiding those who loved and lost. When storms raged, her glow pierced the clouds as a promise that darkness would pass. When hearts were broken, her radiance offered solace beyond words. In rare moments, when the moonlight softened to a delicate shimmer, those who stood beneath it might hear the faint echo of footsteps along distant stone, a whisper of a bowstring drawn tight, and the sigh of a man gazing upward. Through millennia, the story endured. The waxing and waning of the moon mirrored their eternal dance, her fullness reflecting longing, her fading reflecting rest. Day and night became the endless pursuit of two souls, the sun chasing the moon across the heavens, never reaching, yet never ceasing. Their tale transcended mortality, woven into the rhythm of the world itself. Chang'e, the goddess of the moon, and Hou Yi, the immortal archer, became eternal symbols of love and devotion. Across the ages, in every culture that looked skyward, their story whispered in silver light and golden warmth. Two halves of a single story, forever apart, forever bound, watched over the earth in silence and reverence. Through the passage of centuries, the tale of Chang'e and Hou Yi persisted, transcending mortal memory to become a rhythm of the world itself. Empires rose and fell, rivers shifted course, mountains eroded, yet the moon remained, unwavering and serene, a silent witness to the endless cycles of life below. In every age, the pale glow above carried the memory of love that defied time, a luminous testament to devotion beyond mortality. In distant provinces, where bamboo swayed and rivers wound through mist-laden valleys, villagers told their children of the goddess who dwelled upon the moon. They spoke not merely of her beauty, but of her steadfast love, her sorrow, and the archer who waited below. The moon became a mirror of longing, a reminder that even the greatest of heroes could not command the whims of fate, and that love, once born, could endure beyond life itself. Poets, inspired by her radiance, wove her image into verse. They wrote of the silver light that softened the harshest shadows, of the quiet guardian who watched over those who loved and mourned. Painters sought to capture her face upon silk and parchment, rendering her robes flowing like mist, her gaze both distant and tender, her essence touched with melancholy yet luminous with grace. Each brushstroke, each word of verse sought to translate the ineffable. A love too vast to be contained by mortal art, yet rendered visible through devotion. Scholars chronicled Hou Yi not only as the archer who had quelled the fury of 10 suns, but as a man whose triumph could not shield him from loss. They wrote of his courage, tempered with sorrow, of the quiet strength that endured even when his heart was fractured. The archer, who had conquered celestial fire, now stood in memory as a symbol of steadfast devotion, a reminder that heroism carries both glory and cost. As centuries passed, their story evolved, taking on forms shaped by time, culture, and imagination. Festivals arose in their honor. nights when the moon shone full and luminous, when families placed offerings of fruit and sweet pastries in perfect circles, whispering prayers not for immortality, but for love that endures. Their tale became a bridge between the earthly and the divine, a rhythm repeated by countless generations, each offering a silent echo of devotion and remembrance. Some said that Hou Yi, after his mortal life ended, became a spirit of light, joining the sun that he had once spared. Day and night thus became an endless pursuit, the sun chasing the moon across the heavens, never reaching, yet never ceasing. Others believed he was reborn in each generation, living countless lives, always looking skyward for the one who waited above. On the moon, Chang'e's solitude deepened into luminous presence. Her palace, born from frost and light, expanded over time into a crystalline labyrinth of halls, gardens, and flowing silver streams. The jade rabbit continued its ceaseless labor, pounding herbs, its motions silent yet tireless. She wandered among gardens that shimmered with her light, leaving traces of radiance that lingered long after her passage. Walking with the awareness that eternity is measured not in days or years, but in quiet devotion. From her palace of frost, she watched the earth below. She observed lovers walking hand in hand beneath her glow, children running through fields and cities flickering like constellations. In every act of love, in every gesture of care, she recognized echoes of her own memory with Hou Yi. Her gaze, though distant, softened hearts, offering solace and hope without uttering a single word. Through this enduring presence, the moon became more than a celestial body. It became the embodiment of love, of memory, of devotion that survives beyond life and death. When it waxed full, it mirrored the perfection of their love. When it waned, it carried the sorrow of their separation. The sky itself became a chronicle of their story, its rhythm tracing the pulse of longing and remembrance. Even now, in the quiet sweep of the heavens, where light meets darkness, their story endures. Chang'e watches from her silver throne, her light forever gentle, her presence a sanctuary of memory and compassion. Hou Yi lives on in the strength of the sun, in courage, in hearts that dare to love against fate. Two souls, separated by heavens, yet joined across eternity, continue their eternal pursuit. The light and the shadow, the sun and the moon, forever chasing, forever remembering. Thus the world turns beneath their gaze. The moon waxes and wanes, the sun rises and falls, and humanity continues its endless cycle of life and love. In every whispered tale, in every song, in every quiet reflection beneath the moonlight, the story of Chang'e and Hou Yi lives on. A testament to devotion, to longing, to love that no distance, no death, no passage of time can sever. And so, the tale of Chang'e and Hou Yi draws to its quiet close. Beneath the ever-turning heavens, the moon rises and falls, a steadfast witness to the cycles of life, love, and loss. In its silver light, we find both the echo of longing and the warmth of devotion, reminders that even across the vast distances of time and space, the bonds of the heart endure. As you watch the moon from your own corner of the world, remember that it carries more than light. It carries memory, patience, and the quiet strength of love that never fades. It whispers of courage and sacrifice, of lives intertwined beyond the reach of mortal years. In its glow, Chang'e and Hou Yi continue their eternal vigil, one upon the moon, one beneath the sun, forever connected, forever apart, yet united in a story that will never end. And in that reflection, we too may pause to remember, to cherish, to feel the quiet rhythm of hearts bound across the ages. For in the silence of the night, in the soft gleam of the moon, their story lives on. It lives in the patience of waiting, in the resilience of love, in the grace of enduring beyond what we can see. The heavens have spoken, and we, beneath their gaze, carry their tale forward.